Hello, dear viewer, and welcome back to Dark Deity on Steam with me, Jalanon, at Lunar Nebula Gaming. We just opened the gates. And now, I never imagined it would actually come to this. I've imagined this day many times since the raising of Alaras, but I wouldn't have guessed I'd be fighting side by side with some of Delia's finest soldiers.
Indeed.
I think it's fair to say the same for us. And yet it has all come to this, and through no fault of our own. We've stood before these doors before. Then we hung our heads in shame, scandalized by the thought that we had failed our king, to whom we swore an oath. Now, this same king has sullied his crown by shattering every oath upon which his authority once stood. Today, we will enter this keep with our weapons drawn and our heads held high.
United, we are unstoppable!
Today, we have nothing to be ashamed of. With us go justice, peace, and the liberation of all Delia. Then what are we waiting for? Alright then. Time to kick down the door. Okay, let's save. And yes, I do believe the bond system, the little hearts and stuff that pop up, don't actually matter so much as having units on a battlefield together. So just making sure people are on the field of battle together should, in fact, help out. But apparently not with Caius and Ren. Tisk. I don't know, maybe they updated that. Helena, don't get me wrong. I'm grateful for your abilities. You've pulled me out of more than enough tight spots. But I gotta admit, you don't exactly fight the way I would have expected a monk to.
I don't understand.
And how would you expect a monk to fight? I don't know. I guess I wouldn't. I see.
Well...
I figure monks are supposed to be peaceful. We are peaceful, but peace is a fruit. And like all fruit, it cannot grow unless the weeds and brambles that would threaten it are cut down. That's a pretty scary definition of peace. Tell me, do you consider yourself a violent man? I try not to be.
I wonder.
Do you desire peace in the world? About as much as the next guy. Truthfully. Alright, maybe a little more than the next guy. Then let me ask this. Do you take pleasure in snuffing out a life?
Huh?
Gods, Elena, no, of course not. Sometimes it feels fair, I guess. Or like a relief, when it means one less person trying to run a sword through your gut. But taking pleasure in death, nah, that's not me.
See it now?
And yet, here we are, two devotees of peace, fighting side by side in a revolution. Well, peace under a tyrant is hardly peace at all. In a way, we're really just fighting to survive.
That's right.
Exactly. I only became a skilled fighter because I trained at the monastery for many seasons. I expected to return and find a world fortified against peace and unity. A world bent on its own destruction. I guess we all find that world sooner or later. We just have to decide how to play our part. The ones who fight are the ones who survive. They are the ones with the privilege and responsibility of shaping the world for future generations. And I'm grateful I get to survive with, how do you put it? A fellow devotee of peace, I think. Yes. I'd like to think that's possible. Peace, if not achieving it, at least taking the first steps. It is, undoubtedly. We've already proven that much. Okay. And that's all for Caius. Vesta and Elias. Vesta, if you don't mind, I have some questions about the aspects.
How can I assist?
I have many questions myself, but if there are any I can answer for you, I will.
Perhaps.
The aspects you shared with us, were they always in your care at the Temple of Fame? Yes, each one was assigned to my protection as soon as I arrived at the site. And did you study or examine them in your time there? The aspects were stored in a locked chest beneath the altar. I was instructed quite clearly that I was not to retrieve them or interact with them whatsoever unless they were in danger.
Hold on.
But you did, didn't you? How could you not?
Agreed.
I did look, from time to time, to ensure they were all accounted for. Then you have long known what I'm now discovering for myself. The aspects are dynamic, as if they were alive, or as if something were living within them, like this compass we retrieved in Varroa. Not living within them, but beyond them. The aspects are more akin to windows than cages.
Impossible.
Windows to what? The gods? That's what faith would have me believe, but it's difficult to be sure. What I do know is when you or I wield the aspects, we do not do so alone. We share the power with some other entity, and there's a delicate balance of control. fascinating. It's no wonder I can feel I could stare at them for hours. You should resist the urge to do so, Elias. I'm speaking from experience now. There are many immediate affairs that require our attention.
I'm with you.
Yes, naturally. But with further study, I suspect much can be learned from these artifacts.
As you will.
Just be careful. The desire to learn is good, but you must temper your hunger for knowledge.
Sure thing.
Of course. Okay then. Helena, may I speak with you? I don't mean to interrupt your prayer. I am not praying, just thinking. What about?
I wonder.
This guide will retreat from the jungle.
Hold on.
That's just why I've come to speak to you. Its presence, I suppose. Did you find it sinister? Very much so.
I'm with you.
I thought you might. I did too. Especially when we set sail for the mist and it retreated into silence, saying it was resting. The gods alone know how many years it rested in that ancient place. Centuries at least, judging from the surroundings. No, it was not resting. It was listening. Then you felt it as I did.
That's right.
I drew my conclusions on reason alone. What was it that you felt exactly? A sort of heightened awareness, I guess. As when you're speaking loudly, and suddenly the room goes quiet, and a kind of overwhelming presence, like a great warrior or noble had just entered the room. Have you spoken to any others who shared these feelings?
I'd rather not.
Not a one.
There.
It is pure speculation, but me have a unique sensitivity to these things, to soul magic and the great pool beyond. What do they call it here? The astral plane? Yes, it may be a gift that accompanies your abilities as an adept. I've only been able to attain a similar sensitivity through prolonged prayer, and for a limited time.
Perhaps.
If it's truly a gift, it's also quite the burden. Most gifts are. Will you be alright?
Sure thing.
I think so, especially now that we're rid of the stone. I'm glad. If you feel something like this again, please, don't hesitate to speak with me. I won't. Okay. Bianca time. Alexa. I bet Lincoln regrets turning you over to Varric when he did.
Don't think so.
I don't. He doesn't seem like a person who regrets much of anything.
Could be.
I wouldn't be so sure. He took his job as a recruiter pretty seriously. And now that he's seen you fight, I think he'd be the first to tell you that we really could have used someone like you back then.
You got that right.
So far, you're the first to tell me that. Give him some time to thaw out that icy pride of his. He can take all the time he likes. Well, take it from me then. Our victories feel a lot more assured with you around. Plus, with the way you've been able to convince everyday citizens to join our cause, this revolution stands a real chance.
Come on.
I don't need convincing. They know what needs to happen. All I've done is stoke the flames that were already kindling inside of them.
Definitely.
Then you've done an excellent job of that. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised. You're a blacksmith after all. Stoking fires is a bit a specialty of yours. I think fires have an unfair reputation. How do you figure that? Everyone thinks of them as destructive, and they can be, but they're also creative. They allow us to take an old hunk of metal and give it a new shape.
Who'da thunk?
If a new shape is what Delia needs, so be it. I just hope we can get there without using Terra as we know it for fuel.
No time to waste.
Sometimes it takes what it takes. Maybe, but the cure shouldn't be worse than the disease. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Ah yes, the French Revolution. Paving the way for Bonaparte. That would be an example, I suppose. Ever been to Adlin before, Red?
Yes.
On a handful of occasions.
Huh?
Sounds like you prefer to stay close to home. I prefer to work where I have expertise.
How cute.
You mean where you know how to hide?
You're mistaken.
You do not need to hide when no one knows you exist.
Who'da thunk?
That doesn't seem very good for business. Don't you need to get your name out there to find new clients? There are many ways to remedy this problem. I imagine you're not so keen on sharing. I will say more. One may seek the services of a guild, for example, or make use of a calling card.
What now?
And what's your calling card?
Not possible.
If I told you, the purpose of having one would be defeated. I can't very well hire you if I don't know what your calling card is now, can I? One should not mix enterprise and recreation. I do not work for friends. Hey, at least that means we're friends. That's progress.
You must.
Oh dear. Okay, Alexa and Faust. Alexa, let me just say, between those abs and that armor, you are covered in steel. That didn't do anything for you? How long did it take you to come up with that? Come on now, what makes you think I'm so calculated? I'm a spur-of-the-moment kind of guy. That explains how Ford found you in a barrel. Is that what he's telling people now? That he found me in a barrel? That little sea urchin. Sounds like you two have some issues to work out.
Definitely.
Actually, I was hoping you could help me with that.
Don't think so.
Psh, I'd much rather not get in the middle of you two. Ew, no, not Ford. I can handle him all on my own, without even really thinking about it, actually. But anyway, I mean, help me with working out. Gods below. I'm serious. I have a routine. One that I designed myself, in fact, but it's just not cutting it. I'm not seeing results.
Here's the deal.
You know what, Faust? Maybe I can help you out with this one. Yes, let's go. Here's your first piece of advice. When someone tells you to do crunches, they don't mean stuff yourself into a barrel. That's it. You really think that was so clever? Hey, how long did it take you to come up with that one, huh? Spur of the moment. That's my girl. Faust, for your own sake, never call me that again.
Jeez.
Yikes. Okay. Oh dear, I thought that was a good joke. Alexa, you should learn not to fight with such emotion. It forfeits your control. And you should learn to give your opinion when someone asks for it. I want to help. I want to make you a better warrior. Who says I need help? I do. I say that. Thanks, Ren. I appreciate your concern, but I think I'll be fine without your help. You think you have nothing to learn? No, I don't. But I do think I'm not learning anything from this conversation. Fine, then let's not talk. Great. Arm wrestle.
What?
Arm wrestle? What's that gonna do? I will show you I am the stronger fighter. Then you will listen when I have something to teach.
Oh, yeah?
Alright, you're on. Let's go. Right now?
You got that right.
What, do you need a season-long training plan? I thought you were a big, strong warrior. Fine, right now. That didn't take long. I was playing easy. Right.
Infuriating.
Again. Rin, stop it. You're embarrassing yourself. Quit while you're less behind. Fine. Another day, you will see what it looks like when I try. Looking forward to it. She does have a higher strength stat. I wonder if that's a reference to that in the game or not. Liberty and Helena? Well, this is your first conversation. Nothing like Varroa, is it? Each place has its character. Sure, but not every place's character is falling apart at the seams, unless you feel that's what gives it its charm. Delia alone has many redeeming qualities. Like what? A scenic coast, rolling hills, tall mountains. I mean, things you can't find on Varroa.
There.
The underground cities of the dwarves, then?
You may have a point.
Dwarves, They're entertaining, I'll give them that. And they make good ale.
That's right.
And we should not forget that Varroa is not without its flaws, even in times of peace.
I'll keep that in mind.
When I find a place with no flaws, Helena, you'll be the first person I write to. I am curious, though. What flaws come to mind when you think of them? Not just codes of honor, for instance. They turn brothers and sisters against one another, vying to lead their families, and waiting eagerly for their parents' deaths. That is no great accomplishment. I see. Well, I still think you and Edlin are in your honeymoon phase. You're looking at everything through fortune finder's goggles.
See it now?
Those are produced locally, you know, by the dwarves of Earth. There's those dwarves again. Maybe the solution would be to just haul them all over to Varroa. I expect you would have great difficulty convincing them to come to the surface, let alone to cross the sea. I wouldn't even try to do that. I value my life too much. Then that is wise. Oh man, dwarves. Make every fantasy and novel better. Come here a moment, Marin. I think we need to have a chat. Okay, what's going on? You remember what you asked me a while back? Of course, that conversation actually meant a lot to me. Good. I think it's time you get good and ready to let go. The end of our journey is coming soon, and he'll have to live his life however he sees fit. That may not include you. I think it will include me, but I won't pretend I don't see your point. I'm not ready to let go off on his lonesome, but he really is ready. Aye, the lad knows more of life than most do at 50. He still sounds goofier than most, but that'll fade only with time. Truth be told, I like the lad a lot. I think he has such potential to live an incredible life. I don't say this much, but I'd be happy to have him aboard my ship if he wants it. It would be a pleasure to watch the lad grow into a man.
Come on.
Does this have anything to do with you letting him try some wines? You're a bad influence, and you know it.
Whoa there!
That little bilge rat. He said he wouldn't tell you. Oh, but you should have seen his face. Funniest thing I've ever seen. He was hollering like he couldn't for the world understand why anyone would drink it.
Right. If the time comes and that's what he wants, I would be happy to see him off on a grand journey with you, Ford. I think you've shown yourself more nurturing than I ever expected.
The only thing you'll find me nurturing nowadays is my mug when drinks are rationed on a voyage.
So you keep saying. Thank you for looking out for me too, I guess.
I do my best.
Think nothing of it, really. Just doing what seems like needs doing in the moment.
In the moment. What a thing to live by. You really are wiser than you seem.
Mwah, perfecto.
You don't have to tell me twice. Oh, Ford. Alright, is that everyone? Seems to be. Okay then. So there is an achievement for getting one character to all of their level 4 weapons. Do I care to do that is the real question. Whenever am I not going to want Alden to have level 4 weapons though? Let's be real. So we need tier 3 tokens. Okay. Well, you know what? All's well that ends well, right? Right, Alden? Hearthfall. Too bad we won't get to see all of these cool animations. Oh, wait. This is fire magic, so yeah. Okay, it's shared. We're good. So I just need 4 tier 3 tokens. Oh, for the sake of achievements. 2, 3, 4. Oh, and then I can actually still get a... We'll think about that. Simply because I do kind of want to get more strength on Ren, potentially, but it's probably not that important. He does just fine, thanks to his high mastery. Alright, Alden. Imbibite. It will cause quite a fright when it's now Pyre Crack. Probably a crack in the ground. A high-level technique that builds up immense speed to gather power and strike fiercely. And conflagration becomes... Devouring Inferno. The apex of rune fire magic. This spell seems to have a hunger of its own. Okay, I didn't see the achievement pop up, so... Oh dear. Oh dear, that means I need 18k, huh? Oh. Well, 12k more, if I, Alright, for the sake of possibly achieving something, I am going to, go to the shop. Once I click on the correct thing, there we go. I can't afford any more tier 3 tokens, which is unfortunate. I probably do want a healing item. Oh, you got your exquisite wine. Oh, that's +2 mastery. Does it really increase mastery if you don't tell everyone about it? Okay. Anybody else need healing, though? I still need you to eat that. Jar of milk, you're fine. So far, so good. You know, honestly, I don't think Samara needs Ellis Light. Her healing power is already pretty insane with that high magic stat. So yeah, I think I will get rid of Ellis Light on her and give her, like, maybe Aspect of Lineage or something? Okay, but nobody needs another healing item just yet. Alright, Alden. I think it's time for your meteor to pack a bigger punch. Yeah, Flash Lotus is now the least heavy thing. That makes sense. Meteor, Devouring Inferno. Meteor, Devouring Inferno. Meteor. Meteor +1. It is now meteor than it was before. Some would say. Okay, anything else we can upgrade, like the Pylum? Yeah. Pylum Strike. Okay, it's now an Assegai. Good. Okay, so we have some possibilities for the future. But I'm probably going to spend all my money after this chapter into upgrading Alden. Oh, just for that achievement, which is not the smartest thing in the world. Okay. anything else we want to do before we advance? Right, aspects. Oh, wait, I don't even have the dodge thing on you. Half of mastery is added to accuracy, wow. Still helpful. Okay, resistance to arcane magic has been pretty good. More power on her has been fine. Yeah, Alexa's crit chance thing has been cool. Sarah, still fine. Maybe we turn Sarathel's sight into our other thing. We really don't need Huss's Hush on you. Is there a better one we can give you? Resistance to storm magic, maybe. We could make her a huge tank by swapping her defense and fortitude. That would be hilarious. Okay. I don't feel like there's anything really better for her to take, though. Other than maybe this resistance to storm magic, which she doesn't need because of her high. Yeah. So this is probably best just because she will have allies nearby, probably. And thus she will help them survive. Okay, well. Samara. We probably don't need this. Could get rid of luck. We could make her hit rate lower. And increase her power. That would make her more likely to crit. Mastery and luck. Nah, it doesn't feel like there's anything I really want to switch out with her either. Oh, right. We can give somebody Dragon Tricky. Sure, we'll give that to Sia. I think we're pretty happy. Now, Varden's Ardor. Do I want to give that to Alden? Since we did just upgrade all of his stuff ridiculously. Yes. Yes, we do. Okay, we will give Maeve... magic depleted to increase defense and fortitude? Sure. That'll make her a little more survivable if she's got any magic still. Alden. Varden's Ardor. Okay, so that should make him even better at destroying things. We'll call that an episode, dear viewer. Leave a like if you have enjoyed Dark Deity. Subscribe for more gaming videos. Comment below on what you expect will show up next time. And I hope you have a great day, dear viewer.